Hi there and welcome to Andy Robinson RC. Cheers for checking out the episode today and cheers for checking out the channel. Okay, so in this episode we're going to be looking at the TD4 again. But before that, I just wanted to say I hope everyone had a great Christmas or holiday, however which you wish to celebrate it. And if I don't have another video beforehand, all the best for the new year and for the rest of 2022. Let's hope it's a better year in general. Okay, anyway, so back to this, the Tamiya TD4. Obviously this car has caused quite a bit of controversy, a lot of haters and lovers of this car. Now, I've posted a couple of pictures of this on the Facebook group and my Instagram account, which if you haven't checked or joined already, just look up Andy Robinson RC and you'll find them. I say I built this a while ago. I built this before the Wild One Blockheads Motors car, and before I did the Porsche 911 934 Coupe. So this has been built for a while, and it left me very, very frustrated because one, it took me personally a while to put this one together for some reason, though I was anticipating that. I don't know, the plastics are a bit different on this one, so they're not like your usual Tamiya plastics, so I was expecting it to be a bit of a tougher build. I have trouble with my arms and hands, so when building them it can be a bit tricky. Anyway, having said that, the actually quality of the plastics on this are really nice, really good, and all the threads appeared to be pre-tapped because I didn't actually have a problem screwing in the hex head screws to this, which was good. But for some reason it did take me a while to build it. Not entirely sure why. Anyway, so it went together. Now, I did. It's been mentioned a few times with other YouTubers that the differentials on this, it's got a plastic cap that the screw goes through and screws into to hold the diff all together. Now, to be honest, they're rubbish. And personally now, I wouldn't build either this, the TD4, or the TD2 that's coming out without that differential nut set that you can get as a hop-up option. I wouldn't bother. I'd just wait until you get that. I finally got a set, and I've now done both diffs because one was slipping terribly and the other one seemed to be fine, and I built them exactly the same. And I couldn't really gauge a feel of how tight or not tight it was when I screwed it together. I just did it and thought what was right. It felt like I did the same on both diffs, but one of them was slipping. It was the rear one, I think. Anyway, I now have got hold of the alloy diff nuts and I've replaced the diffs, which actually was quite an easy job. I could get to it without taking the whole car to pieces. So if you are going to build one of these, I would completely recommend 100% that you get the alloy diff nut set. Also as well, the servo seems to move quite a lot under load when the servo is moving, so I've got the alloy servo mounts on that, and that does reduce the flex quite a bit. It's still, I wouldn't say it's perfect still, but it does cut a lot of that out. So that is again another recommendation I would do, changing those plastic servo mounts for the alloy ones. So I've done that as well. Now, the really biggest, to me, the frustration about this car was the fact that when I built it all up and took it out to test drive it, the front dog bones, which actually you can now not see because they are not in there, they kept on popping out. Every time I took it out, the front drive shafts would pop out. Now, I had the bump stops in as well to limit the amount of throw that the servo was giving, so they weren't popping, well, they weren't meant to pop out, but it didn't make any bit of difference. I even had the correct shims, foam shims in the diff out drives and the ones in the axles. still they would pop out. I even started shimming it up with extra spacers either side, just to try and keep them in there. And I've tried. I probably spent longer trying to shim that upright than I did building the car, and still under acceleration, at least one of them would slip out enough for it to, pop out, and it sounded awful. So now I've been looking, and just at the moment I can't get hold of the front universal drive shafts. So I'm gonna have to wait until they come available. Some odd hop-ups have become available, but a lot of them still aren't. So as I said, I've got those diff nuts and the alloy servo mounts. So I've done that, and that's all right. But I really need those front dog bone universal drive shafts to stop these dog bones popping out. Because at the moment, this is not a TD4; it is a TD2 essentially. But I have, at least now that it's like the TD2, yes, I know it's got a slightly different front end, and it's got the TD4 body, but isn't a million miles away, let's face it. I have been able to drive it outside without it, making horrible noises. And it drives alright from what I can tell so far. Can't give a proper appraisal of it really, because I want to try it as it should have been, 4-wheel drive. But yeah, it drives, and I've been blasting up and down the street. Those diff nuts work nicely. The diff is nice and smooth. It's lovely. Yeah, I've managed to have a drive of the car that I built ages ago. What it feels like ages ago. So yeah. What else? What can I say? What else? Well, apart from that, I'll tell you what I do like about this car. I like the quality of the plastics. I do like the fact that Tamiya did try something different with this chassis. Now, although they've got front inboard suspension, and it's new for Tamiya, apart from obviously it's got it on the TC01 chassis. Generally, it's a new thing for Tamiya, though it's not a new thing on RC cars. The Schumacher Top Cat had it. Again, that was on 2-wheel drive, but that had front inboard suspension. And of course, after that, they changed back to more conventional upright front suspension. And also, the 10th Technology Predator also had inboard suspension front and rear. But again, the manufacturers have never really stuck with inboard front suspension or inboard suspension. So we'll see how, I want to get it on a track properly and race it and see what it's like properly. But at least Tamiya gave it a go. I know there's been some criticising of the body design and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd body. But I've painted it one colour in light gunmetal, and I think it slims it quite down a bit, and it looks nice and slim. And obviously, I went for some JC wheels, as you can see, and I think they look nice with the silvery gunmetal colour. I've also got a Penguin King wing from Penguin Custom Body Shells. Didn't want to use the Tamiya one, I don't like it. So I've got some racing tyres on. I've got Schumacher racing tyres on. I've got yellow compound mezzos on the rear, and I've got front wide stagger ribs, cut stagger ribs on the front. And I'm actually going to take this tomorrow racing at Ribble, Leyland, Ribble Valley Radio Control Car Club. I'm going to run it in 2-wheel drive just to see what it's like now. We'll see. I'm not expecting great things, to be honest, but we'll see. Another thing I do like about this kit is that Tamiya did try and make it. It's not obviously on TRF standards, but they did try and make it a higher grade kit. You obviously got a complete ball bearing set in the kit, which I think you should do for the price, and to be honest, you should get that in more Tamiyas anyway. You did get a full set of adjustable turnbuckles, which is good. Now, I like the way on this one they've given you the foam dust covers for the ball joints. Again, you'd see that a lot more on cars and buggies like from Associated, Losi, brands like that, Schumacher. Schumacher have it? I don't know. but certainly on the associates and the Loses, so I like that. Also as well, they've got the captured hinge pins rather than the big old Tamiya screw pins that go through. So they've got captured hinge pins, which again, you get these on the higher end buggies, so I like that there that Tamiya did. What else do I like? The fact that they did on this. Yeah, so you got the foam dust covers, you got the fact it was ball raced, and it came with the adjustable turnbuckles, captured hinge pins, foam dust covers. It's got that's the bottom of the chassis there. Of course, it's probably got you know, the, what do you call them? I can't remember what you call them now. It eludes me. But where the wishbones mount, it's got actual wishbone you know, pivot balls there in the back of the chassis. Things like that, much better from Tamiya. But again, this front inboard suspension, it maybe leaves something to be desired, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to race it. I'm sure it'll be fine just for driving around outside, but I'm going to race it and see what it's like. So yeah, so just a bit frustrated really with Tamiya on this one. If they, you know, if they knew, it's like they bought this kit out knowing they had some flaws with the diff and the front dog bones popping out, and it's like, well, we'll release the hop ups at the same time, so you have to buy these to fix the problems. Well, really, I mean, I was very lucky that I got this donated, this kit by the RCL, but in general terms, it'd been better if Tamiya just maybe charged a bit extra and had sorted the problems out. With, you know, I'd rather have bought it slightly dearer with the universal front drive shafts in and with the alloy diff nuts to solve those problems. I'd have left feeling that this was much better kit than how I felt when after I built it and couldn't run it. And also as well, you know, if someone who hasn't got the same amount of experience when building kits and things, and it's more of a new kit that they'd got, or a parent had bought a younger kid the kit and they've built it and then it wouldn't work right, how disappointed would you be? And also, it could probably, you know, it might put you off getting stuck into the hobby properly. So I think Tamiya need to learn a bit of a lesson with that. So there's pros and cons with this, but yeah, at the time of first building, they left me disappointed with the build, but I think they did some good things as well. But I want to get those UJs in the front. I am going to race it properly. I'm going to see what it's like, and then I can give more of a better appraisal. What I have noticed from running up down the street, there is a lot of play in the steering. Now, I know Tamiya do suffer from a lot of slop, but because you've got all this bell cranked steering all over the place, then I think it lends to a bit of steering slop and it can veer off. I ended up sanding the servo saver so it was nice and smooth, so that was less notchy, so that helped a tiny bit. But the servo saver isn't jumping teeth on the servo. It's more than plenty powerful enough servo in there as well. It wasn't a dirt cheap servo, so I just generally think that's part of the kit. Now I might replace all the rocker arms and all that in alloy when the hop-ups become available and see if that alters it and try and shim it up a bit. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the tyres might not have helped on the concrete. They're not concrete tyres, so maybe that helped. It didn't help with the veering off slightly. But I'll find out that more tomorrow when I race the thing, because I'm going to take it on carpet. So anyway, but besides that, that is the finished vehicle. That's how it looks. You know, that's what I did with it. You know, I'm quite happy with how it looks. So yeah, but yeah, that's the TD4, or currently, certainly with mine, the TD2. So, or maybe it's a, I don't know what was. I was gonna say it was half a 4, but it's a 2, isn't it? So yeah, it's like half a TD4 at the moment. But there you go. So yeah, I just wanted to say a few things about this, and sort of show it on the video really that this is it. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for now. That's where we're up to with the TD4. Now, if you remember, if you've been following the channel, you may remember I did an unboxing of the Top Force Evo, and I had to sell it afterwards because at the time I couldn't afford to keep it. Now, again, as the years gone by, things have changed, and I've managed to acquire a Top Force Evo. I didn't build this one, I got it ready built. So I need to check a few things over just in case. But again, I will be getting this ready to do a bit of racing with. So yeah, but of course, you know, you can't say it hasn't been used, it's just been built. So yeah, you can't go wrong with the Top Force, can you? That's my Top Force Evos. I just thought I'd show you that, and we'll be doing some things with that later on in the year. It'll be next year now, as I say, it'll be in 2022 when I get that up and going. I've got other things coming. Now, I think winging its way, I've got 2 cars coming soon. I've got the Tamiya Saint Dragon on the Thundershot chassis. That should be here soon. And I've also got a bit of an obscure car turning up soon called a Aaarhh Valiant 2. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So that's a 2-wheel drive buggy from about 1993. Anyway, that's it for this one. Cheers for checking this video out, much appreciated always. Okay, as well, thank you so far to everybody who's subscribed and is supporting the channel. It's always much appreciated. And we'll see you again, maybe before. If not, we'll see you again in 2022. So look after yourselves, take care, and enjoy your New Year's celebrations if you're celebrating. And we'll see you all very soon. See you later. Take care. Bye.